colors. In tonight's video, we're going to be making a Christmas fun fold card using the Jar of Joy Photopolymer stamp set and the Sweet Jar Builder Punch. And I did something different for this card. I used this fine tip glue pen to make the jar pop out on the card. And I'll show you how to do that. I have 2 tips for you. First of all, you need to make sure your image is dry. So I punched it the day before, and then it was dry enough for me to use this glue on there. And then the second one is you want to make sure you're not putting a lot of glue on there. You need a very thin layer of glue, otherwise it's going to look smoky. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. Well, here's that card we're going to be making tonight. And we're going to use the Jar of Joy Photopolymer stamp set. And we're going to use the punch that came with the Sweet Jar Photopolymer stamp set bundle. And we're going to use this here, this stamp here, and this stamp here. And then we'll use this one here, and we'll break it apart, and then we'll use this on the inside. We'll go ahead and get started, and we're going to stamp the jar first, because what I did here is I put some glue on there to make it look like a glass jar, and it takes a while for that to set. So we want to get that done right away. So we're going to bring in our 2" by 3" piece of basic beige. Yeah, this is longer because I'm going to just do 2 of them right away. And we're going to use our pecan pie. And let's see, let me get my stamping thing. And I'm just going to do one here. I'll do one here. Okay. We're going to take the stamp that has the gingerbread on there, and we're going to use the pecan pie again. And I'm going to just lay this down here. Sorry if my head's in the way. And we'll do the next one. And then we're going to bring in the details, and that will use our cherry cobbler. And we're going to line this up. So now I need to get my head in there. Sorry about it. Okay. Then we're going to cut these out. And let me just close this up real quick. Before we close this up, I want to stamp 2 more things. This is the card that's in the center of the, and then this is the front facing. We're going to stamp this here, sending a joyful of cheer. There. And then we're going to stamp wishing you the sweetest Christmas. And I'm going to stamp off. We should have did this with all of these. What we're doing is we're unloading all that ink that's on there. And then we're going to take our Stampin' Scrub and scrub these clean. And I'm going to spray this with our Stampin' Mist. And we're we're going to turn it around. This is the raindrop here, so this is going to be the wet side, and this has the sunshine, so that's going to be dry. Then we're going to bring in our punch, and we're going to punch out just one of these for right now. And let's have it be, which one looks the best? Let's do this one right here in the center. So what we do, you find your spot here. You want to leave like 1/16 of an inch for a border all the way around the stamp. And then you press it down halfway, because then it's going to hold it. And you decide whether or not it's in the good position still. And if it is, then you commit. And we'll do these later. And next we need to do is put the glue on here. So this is our fine tip glue pen. And we just outline it and then fill in the rest. And I am going to let this dry, and we're going to use one that has already been done. I actually did it yesterday. So this is the one that we're going to use. And the reason I did that is because I don't want it to get smeared. Okay, we're going to take it up to this first line right here. And then you just fill it in. I don't know if you can hear my knuckles cracking there. And I am going to lift this up before I get much farther, because I want to do it on this. Then I'm able to move that easily all the way to dry. And I'm going right along the edge there. So just up to where the glass should stop. And we're filling in. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to set this aside to let it dry. And if it's not completely dry by the time we're ready for it, I've got one all ready for us to use. All right, and then to close this up, we want to take this. First I'm going to wipe the glue off the outer edge, and then we need to make this pin go down the barrel. There. And we'll just twist that on. Okay, next we want to take our cardstock. This is our basic white, cut at 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, or 7.3 centimeters by 9.8 centimeters, and we already stamped it. And then this is 1/2 inch by 3 inches. Well, it was a piece of leftover, so it's more than 3 inches. And it's 1.3 centimeters by 7.6 centimeters. We're going to cut this down so it's going to say full of cheer on the bottom piece. And then the next one will be a jar. And then the top is going to be sending, and we're going to trim this down so it's equal. And we can throw these away. So we've got that set. Then we're going to need our cherry cobbler. We're going to cut this down to 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 inches. So this is 8 1/2 this way, so we'll make it 4 1/4 right here. And that's going to be 10.8 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. We're going to score it at 5 1/2 inches, and that'll be 14 centimeters. And this was our scoring blade, and this was our trimming blade. And we'll fold then burnish that. And then our next piece is going to be cut at 3 inches by 8 inches. So we'll cut this at 3 inches. And then this will be 8 inches. And we have this arm here, we can raise it out to 8 inches. And then we want to score it at 4 inches. So this is 7.6 centimeters by 20.3 centimeters. And then we scored it at 4 inches, which is 10.2 centimeters. And we'll burnish that as well. Okay. I don't know if I did this on both sides. I want to make sure that's nice and crisp fold there. And next we need our pieces of gold, and we've got this cut already. We've cut this at 5 3/8 inches by 4 1/8 inches, or 13.7 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. And that's going to go inside the card. And then the next piece is going to go on the front of the card, and that's going to be 2 7/8 inches by 4 1/8 inches, or 7.3 centimeters by 10.8 centimeters. And that'll be on the outside there. And then this one is going to go on the front of this, and that is 2 7/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches, or 7.3 centimeters by 9.8 centimeters. Okay, let's get those glued down. I'm going to bring in our glue gun. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I use it because I have rheumatoid arthritis and I can't squeeze these bottles, these here. But I can put the glue in here and still use our glue. So you can find this in the catalog. I like using this glue gun because it allows you to do really delicate dies, intricate dies. And we left 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. That's about 0.1 centimeter. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. Leaving 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. We'll do this next. And this last one is for the flip part of the card. And we're going to leave 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And then we can take this. That is our piece of designer series paper. And this is cut at 2 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, or 7 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. And we'll put some glue on that. And we'll leave 1/16 of an inch for a border to the edge of the gold. And that's going to be like 0.1 centimeter again. Then next we have this piece here. We'll put that inside our card. And that's going to be 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Okay. Then we need our designer series paper for the inside. This is Regal Distress Patterns, and it is cut at 5 1/8 inches by 4 inches and 13.3 centimeters by 10.2 centimeters. Let me get that with the glue. And then we'll put it on here, and that will leave 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides again. And then we'll do the same thing here. And this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 inches or 7 centimeters by 10.2 centimeters. And we'll leave 0.1 centimeters for a border on all 4 sides, or that's 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Then we're just going to glue this down. And I'm going to put a lot of glue on there because I want it to hold real well. And we want to put it down so it's centered on the inside and on the outside. And I like using the glue because of the wiggle room you have there. Then let's go ahead and put our jar on. Oh, we need one more thing. We need to punch out our top of the jar. And this is a piece of gold, and it's 7/8 of an inch by 4 1/8 inches. And we're just going to punch out one of those. I'm making sure it's good there, and then just give it a punch. Okay. Then let's bring in our jar, and this is not done, so we will bring in one that is finished from the other day. And I'm going to go ahead and put these on first because I need to make sure that these get on there, and then I can twist it as much as I need to get it to fit. So let's go ahead and put this on. We're going to use our dimensionals, and we're going to use the mini ones in the black. Flipped off the edge already. We'll do 3 on that strip there. And we're going to put it right down here. Get this out of our way. And we'll do sending would be up here. Sending. And then the jar. And more dimensionals. Then we'll take this is one that's dry already, and we'll put it right there. And let's go ahead and bring in our dimensionals again. We'll do 3 across the bottom. I like to do a lot of dimensionals to make sure it doesn't get all wonky when it goes through the roller at the post office. And then we'll do one right about here, one right about here. Then I'm going to do some of these so that they're just above, so that it'll catch that lid for the jar. And we'll turn this one this way where that knob is. Okay. We'll take your pick tool, get those all off from there. And we'll center it right about here. Very good. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put glue on the bottom right down here. And I think I'm going to put another dimensional up here because it wants to collapse on me. I don't want that to happen. Okay, let me see if I can't find another dimensional.
Let's see if I can't get the back off of it before we get in there too far. We're going to have to cut it in half. All right, and we'll get that right down there. Perfect. We are done. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, November 16th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog, and I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.